We have this jump in copper prices today on a warning from U.S. President Donald Trump that he does plan a 50% import tariff on that red metal. We're also going to take a look at lithium prices. Our guest says that commodity seems to have bottomed and could actually double in the next 2 years due to strong demand for electric vehicle batteries in China. We're joined by Ken Hoffman, commodity strategist at Red Cloud Securities, longtime watcher of the metal market. Ken, great to see you. Give us
Thanks
your
for having me again, Andy.
I know this is a developing story, and it's in many ways it's an offhand comment by the president, but he's talking about a possible 50% tariff on copper imports into America. That would be presumably murderous for the house building industry, just to instance one, they'd have to pay so much more.
Yeah, and what Trump says and what he actually does, Taco Trump, let's sort of see. But copper has been seeing a huge tailwind this year. For example, you have something called TCRC, which is treatment charge, refining charge, which I'm a miner, I make concentrate, I need to ship it to a company who's going to put it through a smelter to bring me, get my metal back. Normally, I have to pay for that service. I'm sending them concentrate, they're sending me back metal. There's so little concentrate in the world, and the smelters are so desperate for concentrate. That number is negative, which means if I'm a miner, I am getting paid for someone to convert my concentrate into metal. Crazy, never happened before, but shows you how tight the copper market was. In addition to that, you have every military in the world trying to increase budgets. There's a lot of copper and military hardware, and put on top of that, electrification of everything. Huge copper needs there. So COMEX copper is up 36, 37% year to date. It's up about 15, 16% on the LME, which was closed today. But it really shows you how copper just has this incredible tailwind. And you just added gasoline to the fire with comments today saying, we're going to put these silly tariffs on top of copper.
I guess people, when they're looking at equities, and I know you're not an equity guy as such, Ken, or it's not your specialty, but people will be wondering when it comes to copper miners, what pricing will they be getting? US pricing or London-based pricing?
It all depends where you are. I mean, if I'm a automaker in the US and I need copper tubing, or if I'm a utility in the US putting up copper wire, I'm definitely going to be paying those US prices. And so those surcharges will be put on to the US market. The rest of the world will not pay that. In addition to that, you have a US dollar, which is down about 15% this year. And the US is in a very curious bind right now. They are trying to destroy the dollar as much as they can. They're reducing trade, they're increasing their deficit. And all of those things, what it does is really hurts the value of the dollar. So all metals, which are priced in US dollars, are seeing this huge boost by dollar destruction. If you look back over the last 25 years, this Bloomberg index could go down another 20 to 25% to reach sort of the lows it's seen over the last 25 years, which was around the 2008 financial crisis. So there's a long way for the dollar to decline. And that adds to the value of the dollar in metals in dollar terms.
Let's move on to lithium. That's been tough for investors over the past few years amid oversupply. You do see a turnaround, though, for that metal.
I actually think lithium is bottoming as we speak. And the real reason for that is we've seen a number of cycles in lithium over the past, really, decade. What happens generally is it all starts in China, and everything always starts in China. They see a huge increase in demand for batteries, and then that sends the market for lithium upwards. And that's exactly what happens. Year to date, battery production in China is up 68%, massively on an already large base. Mainly going, EVs are up probably around 40%, but stationary storage, backing up your power grids, that's up almost 100%. What that's going to do is soak up any excess lithium out there. And we've actually seen some lithium mines shut over the past year, and we're going to see the lithium price start to head up. A more reasonable level for lithium is about double where it is today. So it's about $8,000 a metric ton today. And I think that in a reasonable number is $16,000 to $20,000 a metric ton, and that would bring on more supply. And so I think that's exactly where we're heading at this moment.
We do know that in North America, EV growth has been disappointing, but still, electric cars are steadily taking over in many countries.
Oh, exactly. I mean, in China, you're almost 60% of all cars sold in China are EVs. Europe obviously has been behind on this, and they're moving up now. They're in the 30-some% range. The US, which has determinedly gone against EVs short term, I think they're also seeing battery growth in other areas. So, often I give advice to cell companies. I'm like, well, you're going to forget EVs for the moment, but there's so many other places batteries are used, particularly stationary storage. And most of the grid in the US is very fragile. They need a lot of battery backup systems. And so I think that's something that's going to occur, let alone drones and robots and everything else that needs batteries in this world. So the battery movement in the world is only going to get faster and faster. And I think that's exactly what you're seeing with this incredible battery growth.
Ken, we've only 30 seconds. Can you remind me, have you tried an electric vehicle yourself? Have you bought one or have you taken the plunge?
I haven't bought one, but if I was in China, I would, because there's actually 7 Chinese brands that get over 1,000-kilometer range and can be recharged in 5 minutes. I would be first in line for that. Unfortunately, I'm in the US, where a Tesla only gets me about 500-600-kilometer range and 2-hour recharge times. So I'm waiting for the better vehicles, but I know they're on their way and they should be here within 2 years.